Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. Welcome again to this podcast called Missionary Heart, and it's my pleasure um, to share with you again my experience in this month. We are already in January 2024, but I would like to share with you and testify with you what the Lord has been doing in the ministry in my life um, in December 2023. But yeah, I just before to start, I would like to say thank you so much to take this time to hear this update about the ministry, but also what the Lord has been doing in my life. So again, thank you so much to do it, and yes, let's start it. So yeah, I would like to say first, um, that like again, I'm sharing my experience in December 2023 and what the Lord has been doing and what the Lord has been speaking to my life in this time. I don't know if you remember or if I said that in the last podcast, but yes, like I'm leading now a school called DTS or Discipleship Training School from YWAM, and we have a yes, like a place here in Mexico City called YWAM Ola. So this is the missionary base that I'm staffing, but also I'm leading this school, Creative DTS, and we have been taking time to to get to know God in different ways, like activities, evangelism, Bible study classes or lectures. But also we have this place or this time to get to know, like to make God known, and this this time we call it outreach or missionary trip, basically. And yeah, during December we had, or the team had the opportunity to do a missionary trip in the north of Mexico, in a place called Mañadero, Baja California. This is in the north of Mexico, close to the United States. And I'm telling, or I'm saying that the team had the opportunity to go because I stayed here for different things, but I will let you know later. So, in Mañadero, there's also a Y1 base, um, but mainly, or most of the people that are staffing there in this base, they are Koreans. So yeah, it's it's a nice place to go and serve. But because also the ministries that they have there, like they are like crazy, but at the same time they are like really beautiful. And I just want to tell you, like, or to give you an overview about um, what the DTS did there. So mainly this base in Mañadero, they have a church for mainly for kids, and during the week after the school or the normal school, the kids goes to this place, to this church, to take also classes, but like English classes, arts classes, music classes, all these things to improve their skills in the in different areas, not just in the academic way, but also they help them to grow in their gifts. So mainly in this area of Mañadero, there's like this is like a poor area where most of the most of the kids they don't have like they don't have like father in their family. It's just the mother, and the mother is going to work most of the most of the day. So yes, it's hard, uh, like the situation for mainly the kids there. So this base is helping them, and also helping the families with some things. For example, to give the kids food during the classes. But also they have more ministries. There's also a place where many people from Oaxaca, that this is another state of Mexico, from Oaxaca they go to these places in the north of the country to work in the land. But yes, the people is like really bad. They to take them with some lies like I will give you a house, I will give you the meals for your family, the just you need to go and work a little bit. But like the case is really like really hard to see it. I had the opportunity in my DTS to go and do a missionary trip there, and yeah, like the case there is so hard because through lies, the people are taking people from their lands to go and work in a different land with just lies, with no houses, with no food at all, just in one room. They're living like 20 people just in one room, and it's so hard to see this. But like mainly the ministry is to go and help them, to give them just like a lunch, but also to share the gospel with them. Sometimes it's hard because they or some of the people they don't speak even Spanish. It's just the indigenous language, the language that they speak. So it's kind of hard sometimes to share the gospel with them. But yeah, every time there's a way to share the gospel. So yeah, the DTS had the opportunity to go to Manadero and also um, to do ministry in this missionary trip and share the gospel there. And meanwhile, they were there. I was working a little bit here in Mexico City to, yeah, to set the next stage for the school. So as I told you before, we have classes or lectures, but also we have missionary trips. So I was working to set the our third stage for the school before to, yeah, to finish the school. So I was preparing a little bit about the classes, the activities that we're gonna have um, in this last stage in the school. But the Lord has been like speaking to me many things during this time, mainly to remind me that I'm chosen from Him, because I was struggling sometimes with these thoughts about I really hurt God to in order to lead like a school here in the base, or like I have the abilities or the skills to stay here. Am I the one that needs to lead this school? So the Lord has been taking me in this process again, one more time, to affirm me and to, yes, to show me again my identity and my the heart that God has to me. And He reminded me about the things that He did with me during this year. I remember you, like I'm telling you my process during December 2023. So before the the year end or was finishing, the Lord showed me again like the things that He did with my life during this year 2023. And it's crazy if I'm telling you just summarizing some stuff. It's crazy the experience that I had with God during this whole year. I started in a missionary trip actually uh, with another school called Arts and Music DTS, and we were in Oaxaca. Yeah, doing ministry, sharing the gospel, and then we went to Veracruz, another state, and doing the same ministry at all. But the Lord has been talking to me about I chose you to be with them, like doing missionary trips, doing all these things, and providing mainly the finances to go in these missionary trips. Uh, just to be clear, and if you don't know, I'm a missionary full time. So that means that I don't have like a salary or even the here the ministry or YWAM, they don't pay to me in order to be and staff here. Just I'm a volunteer, a full time volunteer that just serve God. and all the things, and like, yeah, all the payments that I need to do, like to stay here and to do these missionary trips, is because of God. Like everything, God through the people, about donations and, yeah, doing fundraising and these kind of things. So I started to see again about the things, the great things that the Lord did during my life in 2023. And it's crazy. In every month, in every year, the Lord has been so, so good with me. Like, at all, completely. And yeah, during uh, this time, the Lord has been taking me to remind again what the Lord does in my life. He started to affirm me in all these things and to tell me that I'm in a good way. Like, to be in this ministry is not that I'm wasting time, but also I'm investing my time in my energy to be here, and all these things are bringing a reward at the end of the season. And I've seen this like a lot. Just sometimes I'm forgetting these things because I'm focusing more in my troubles or in my mistakes or in my doubts. But the Lord has been since the one day in 2023 until this time that I'm recording this podcast. So yeah, um, I've been working for the third stage, but also and mainly the Lord has been taking me in the remembrance again to what the Lord has been doing in my life, because He has been so kind, so good with me during this year, that I'm excited about what is gonna happen in 2024. Um, yeah, I was working also in a missionary trip to go to Japan. The Lord has been talking about to go to Japan, and the heart behind of this is, yeah, to share the gospel, but also to bring, like, I don't know, um, the Mexican ways to do the things are so weird, but mainly is to bring the culture, the Mexican culture, to Japan mainly, because I don't know if I don't know if you know, but Japan is like a flat culture. They don't hug at all. They don't, uh, yeah, keep their family, like, show the love to them. It's just like a flat culture. Uh, and less than the 1% of the people there in Japan, they know God like completely. But just mixing like Catholic people with Jehovah Witnesses and also Christians, this less than 1% of the people in Japan, they know God like completely. So our heart is, firstly, is to bring the Mexican traditions and Mexican culture to them, to show them what our culture or traditions are. So it's gonna be a big party in Japan. If you want to know more about it, please send me a message. You can be part of it. Um, but the heart is to bring what the Lord has been doing with the Mexicans to them, to also show it to them, and in order to connect with them, and also to create this friendship with the people, this is the way that we're gonna share the gospel, through relationships mainly. So yeah, basically this is our general plan to go and what to do in Japan, to connect with the church first, then to create relationships with the people, non-Christians, and then to share the gospel with them. This is our plan, and this is the mission. That's why maybe we can see Japan as a country that they don't need anything else, but they are poor in a spiritual way. they are poor in their personal lives, because yeah, they need to know, yeah, they need to get to know the love of God, and God mainly and fully. So this is our heart, and this is what the Lord has been, yeah, talking to me, connecting with um, with the remembrance. Yeah, the Lord has been so good with me during this year, even if we don't see the finances like completely in order to go to Japan, because this is a fact. Mexican people sometimes is so difficult and so hard to go to the nations because we don't have the support in the church, but also like for the people to trust their finances to the missionaries. Sometimes it's hard because they just see us traveling and traveling, but behind of that they don't, or they are not seeing what we are doing in the ministry. But yeah, this is gonna be a challenge, the finances in order to go to Japan, not just to me but also to the students. But yeah, we believe that if God was faithful and good to us last year, it's gonna be faithful and good with us in this year, 2024. But yeah, like this is a general overview what the Lord has been doing in my life during this year. And just to summarize in some words, is that God is faithful every time. And I thank God mainly because, yeah, He did all these things possible. It wasn't because my own strength, but like all these things were possible because of Him. And I want to thank you also to you that you are listening or watching YouTube my podcast. Thank you so much to take this time and to hear what the Lord has been doing, but also for the ones that are listening this podcast and you support my ministry and my life during this year 2023. I want to thank you so much for your support, in your trust and your confidence, because you are trusting in God as well, and you are trusting that the Lord chose me in order to be here. And I want to thank you a lot to trust in what the Lord has been doing in my life. Thank you so much for your support, yeah, during this year 2023. Probably the most of the people that are hearing this podcast in English, I meet them in during this year. So also I want to thank God for the opportunity to, yes, for the opportunity to get to know you. So yeah, thank you so much for that. But mainly thanking God for the opportunity with and for all the experiences that I had during 2023. I'm so excited, and also you can be part of this experience 2024. Yeah, like supporting, praying for me, and even to chat with each other. But thank you so much. And I think this is the end of the podcast. So yes, if you want to know more about, I don't know, the ministry, what I've been doing, or also what is gonna happen with Japan, even with no finances, please send me a message. And I want to tell you more about it. I really am open to tell you what is gonna happen and what the Lord has prepared for this year in the ministry and in my life. But thank you so much to take this time. And yeah, this is Adriel. Thank you and bye.
Until I see you face to face, until at last I've won my race, remind me